In the back roads of North Texas lays a path where the old Ida leads you to Busby Lane. It takes you to Grayson County Speedway. Since the first green flag flew back in 1974, the people of Bells have flocked here every Saturday night to watch their favorite drivers battle it out, to take the big check and the checkered flag. No track is complete without its list of big personalities. It all starts with the founder. Benny Busby bought the grounds in 1972 for what would eventually become Grayson County Speedway. The spot was chosen in the tiny town of Bells, which was in the shadow of the small town of Sherman. The track would sit at the highest point of Grayson County. Busby would own the track for many years, before giving his beloved track to several owners who loved the track and fans. Around 2009, a race team owner would take a crack at the ownership. Mark Weiss, and of course, his lovely wife, Ramona Weiss, would take ownership of Grayson County Speedway, giving the track some much-needed updates and making it look as beautiful as it is today, making sure that every fan who walked through the gates of Grayson County Speedway had the best time and would always come back for more the next weekend. Mark would look to competitors and former workers of the Grayson County Speedway, this including former drivers Tommy Hicks and Eddie Doggett, and track worker and historian Mr. Eric. The first green flag would fly in 1974. For the first 11 seasons, the track would race unsanctioned until 1985, when Busby brought in the sanctioning of the IMCA, making Grayson County Speedway the first track in Texas to do so. Jimmy Williams from Denison would become the first ever IMCA modified champion in Grayson County history. 39 years later, the track still runs under IMCA sanction, producing some of the best racing in the Texoma area. The challenging dry slick surface would produce many champions who would go on to do great things, including William Gould, who in 2013 would be the national IMCA modified points champion, and would collect his 200th career IMCA victory at the track, pushing him to 10th all-time on the active wins list. The love of racing at the Speedway would pass down from one generation to the next, with many families producing multiple generations of racers. What would a racetrack be without a voice to call all the action? If a race happens without an announcer, did it truly ever happen? Harold Brown would be the voice of the county every week for a good part of several decades. He would welcome fans with an opening prayer and close the night out with Willie Nelson's Turn Out the Lights. Harold loved the Speedway, was a former racer, and cherished it until his death in 2023. After Harold, Kennedale Speedway Park's Dink McCullough would call actions for a couple seasons before handing the reins over to Mr. James Brown, who would take over the call for the better part of the last decade and would always welcome our backsides trackside. Of course, no racetrack would be complete without the fans. Racing gets its life from the fans. Everyone involved in tonight's event was once a fan sitting in the seats watching the races. No matter the week, the weather, or the car count, the people of Texoma continue to pack the stands just like they did since the gates opened 50 years ago. This race this weekend, this video, is to you, the fan in the stands or the fans watching at home on RaceON.com. Without you, it's just cameras, cars, dirt. Whether it's your first time in the stands or you've been here for 50 years, it's you, the fans, that make Grayson County Speedway the place it is today. So that's it. Year 50 ends with a drop of the final checkered flag, and the winter comes, and which will soon give way to the spring. Like clockwork, we will return to this hallowed ground for another season, another race, another experience. The competitors will come and go, but the fans will still pack the stands every Saturday night to watch their favorite drivers get western at the county. Congratulations to Grayson County Speedway on 50 years of racing, 50 years of entertainment, and 50 years of memories, with so many more to come.